It's more about getting them to talk more and converse with you as the teacher. I felt like in my heart that there was more that could be talked about. Hi there everyone, it's good to see you here today on my channel. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting for way too long to share this news with you. I have been working on something really, I'm going to say since February, and it was not planned. It was something that really came out of nowhere. I'm going to say that God dropped the idea into my lap, and for a while I was thinking that it wasn't going to really turn into anything. I was kind of just messing around online, seeing what I could make. I have made something that I am now selling on Etsy for you all to look into and see if it's something that you want to use. It's actually called a biblical word study. For those of you who are wondering, what is a biblical word study? I have made lessons for kids about the age of like 3rd grade through 6th grade probably. So if you have multiple children, between that age group, it probably would be good. Definitely 7th grade is way too old. 2nd grade's probably too young. So I kind of decided that it was going to be for about 3rd through 6th graders. It is something that has really been on my heart to basically educate children on the Bible, but it's not the way a lot of curriculums may out there. So basically what it is taking words in the Bible and helping children connect with what the word means, especially words that are used quite often in the Bible. So it's going to be talking about not only the definition of the word, the origin of the word, but asking the question, is the word a noun? Asking the question, if it's a noun, is it a person, place, or thing? If it's an action or a verb, how is it used? So it ties in some grammar and parts of speech knowledge in there, but it's not overwhelming where the kids are like, oh, this is like school. So it's more about getting them to talk more and converse with you as the teacher, to understand that word and where it comes from and what it means. And there's basically then a layout of Bible verses that can be chosen for a deeper look inside and deeper study. And the teacher can walk through doing those or having different students read them out loud and then really get their opinion and talk about why is this word used in this verse and why is it used in that verse, and really gets to deeper understand. Instead of it just being words on a page to children, it's more than a Bible story. And Bible stories are great, but I know from my experience growing up in church, you hear Bible stories throughout your whole life. You don't really think anything about it. You already know it. It isn't as personal maybe to you. Maybe when you get older it is, and you can apply it more to real life that you're living. But for children, it's kind of hard. They just memorize it. They know it. They know people in the Bible, the heroes, the villains, the whatever. It's not just a story. It's meant to be applied to life. And so I felt like in my heart that there was more that could be talked about. When I started this journey, I had no idea what other type of curriculum or lessons there were out there available. I just knew God was saying, use what you have and make something. So these lessons are about 4 to 5 pages each. They each come with a coloring page or a craft, normally at the end. It's supposed to be done, it can be done in a day, or it can be done over 2 to 3 days each lesson. So that way you can take your time. You don't have to rush through it. So basically the start of this idea came from a little box, which I was about ready to give away. And it's a little box called Word Teasers. I'm sure some of you have heard of them before. It's something I think you can get at most stores, especially bookstores and things like that. But it's basically a little box of words, and you pull them out and talk about them. It has some questions on there. Of course, these are Christians, so they would have like Bible verses. And my son had got a little box of these faith teasers. So it's all about the Christian faith, and I was going to give it away because we hadn't used it. And then I was about ready to put it away, and I felt strongly the Lord say, do not get rid of these. And I just felt him say, hold on to these. You're going to need them for something. And so I ended up keeping them And literally a month or two later, he gave me the idea of you need to take some of these, more than half of the faith teasers in these box I've basically set aside and use them. I have not made all the word studies yet for all these different words. I'm in the process of formatting that. And so my first unit 1 is called the Cross series. And the Cross series starts out with the word cross. The second lesson is about salvation. The third lesson is about sin. The fourth lesson is about atonement. The fifth lesson is about the word suffering. Those 5 lessons with those words is unit 1. And so I've created that and I've posted it on my Etsy shop. You can click the link down in the description. It is digital download right now. I don't know how or if or when God would want me to print them, send them out as an actual curriculum, and I don't know where that goes. But my Etsy shop is called Bright Light Studies. And so I am super excited to see where this goes because there are multiple units that the Lord has put on my heart with these words to create lessons. I'm already working on completing and finishing up the unit 2, which is the fruits of the Spirit. So that's going to be a longer unit because there's going to be more lessons because every fruit of the Spirit is going to have a lesson. I currently have planned, I think, over 30 units, which each unit is going to be anywhere from 5 to 9 lessons. I don't know where this is going to go, but it's a huge step of faith right now in our family, in this season of life where God has basically told me, use what you have, use the resources. It may not seem a lot. It seems so simple, these lessons, but I think it goes back to where God reminds us to have faith like a child, to not overthink things, to not overcomplicate things. Even for me, while I've been making these lessons, God has shared something with me, something that I need to understand more, something that maybe I haven't fully stopped to think about because I overcomplicate things. And as adults, I think we do. And sometimes I think some curriculums out there when it comes to teaching kids can be a little bit more complicated than what it needs to be. You know, when you first learn something or read something, you're only going to pick up like 25% of it the first time around. So it is important to, do memory verses and things like that. All that's really powerful, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to apply it. If you don't know how to use it in everyday life, when you're in a rough situation, to know how to use the Bible verses for encouragement for yourself or encouragement for other people. And not only that, but just to have a deeper relationship with God. And I believe that every child is very capable of having a deep relationship with God and trusting God because their childlike faith also can get them to understand things that some of us adults can't fully understand, immediately. I'm stepping out in faith with this. I pray that each lesson that I make touches someone. I am just letting you know on my Etsy shop, I have each lesson sold individually, and then I have each unit will be sold together. The unit for the Cross series that I've done already, that I posted on there, it's a 5 lesson unit, so that's going to be together. So if you want to test it out and test all 5 lessons and see what you think, that's on there. Or if you would rather just buy a lesson by itself and then test out the flow and the setup, each lesson is made about the same. There's plenty of pictures on the Etsy shop for you to look at and kind of see what it's like. And you're always welcome to reach out to me on here and leave me a comment, or reach out to me through my Etsy shop and ask questions if you like. That's my big announcement, and I hope that it goes well. I'm believing that what God sets our hands to will be blessed. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you like and subscribe and click that bell for notifications, and look for more videos from me at some point very soon. Take care. Until next time, shine bright.